Oh my, we need to be really, really careful because it seems that what comes out of your mouth might sound like gospel. So we need to be really, really careful what we say. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with the Business on Purpose podcast. Take just a minute, if you will, go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/roadmap. And we've got an amazing little overview, step-by-step, of all of the modules that we coach our business owners through. So you can be liberated from the chaos of working in your business and make time for what matters most. Owning and operating a business is a continual streak of tests that ultimately prove the trustworthiness of the business that you're building. The business of scammers and hucksters, it falls apart over time, forcing them to be in a constant state of reinvention, re-huckstering. Traveling various parts of the historical world over the last few months has reminded us of the longevity and the duration of things, of good things, of things that are substantive. Walking the streets of Rome, flanked by artifacts that are from late BC and early AD eras, has a way of sobering the hardships of your time. Walking through the carved caves of the Cappadocia region of modern Turkey sobers you to the challenges and the hardships of previous cultures. See, every culture endures testing. Every generation is put on trial so as to mark the trustworthiness, the weightiness, and the endurance of that generation. Endurance then allows for longevity in the hope of seeing the days that are indeed hoped for. But without endurance, life is short and hope is very, very fleeting. The ingredients of our words fuel much of the cocktail of what is continually being tested through the swishing and the swashing of the minds of those around. Each word that comes from the mouth of a leader is filtered through the taste buds of life's mental truth machine and filed away in the vaults of our minds. But you said, that phrase has caught many a leader in a moment of doublespeak, not realizing that a mere fit of external processing was actually being received by all others as gospel truth. In your strategy to be more decisive or more creative or more inventive or more direct, always remember, a fool who keeps his mouth shut is considered wise. It's Proverbs 17:28. Your words into the world with longevitous ink like a tattoo. Once out, your words are nearly impossible to cram back in, and the surfaced emotions are floating for all to sense and respond. If you are a leader or an owner who uses words, that's all of us, then here are a few devices that will bode well for you to adopt and deploy. First, be slow to speak and quick to listen. This was actually wisdom provided to a group of Jewish citizens who had been thrown out of their homelands and were living scattered in a lot in unfamiliar territories. Their house was not their home, their streets were not their domain, and the people were not their people. Look, see, listen. Very rarely has a winning strategy been speak, then think. The fire of anger is stoked by the sparks of unfiltered words. Want to throw a small group into a frenzied rage? Make habit of speaking the first thing that comes to your mind, and you too will have created a remarkable and unfortunate riot, or at least a really frustrating place to work. Speak slowly. Listen quickly. Second, place a timeline on your ideas. An idea is often birthed into an assumption of perpetuity, meaning it never ends. Want to start meeting in a small group? What happens when you're tired of meeting? Want to start volunteering? What happens when it's clear that your voluntary role has run its course? Many times we just keep going. There's no shame in running ideas through a test period of limited time. Take an idea and declare, we're going to try this and monitor the results of this for the next 3 months or 4 months or 12 months or whatever, and then decide on this date and time whether or not to extend or to extinguish. The boundary of a start and a stop timeline will allow everyone involved to feel a sense of urgency and also a sense of freedom, knowing that if the idea does not provide its intended outcome, then we mustn't be married to a bad idea for life. The third element, remind yourself that your words are sticky. The words that come out of the mouth of a leader carry a volume and a camera-like photograph that burns itself into the emotional landscape of people with ears to hear. Your words tend to stick longer and with greater weight than others because they directly impact the day-to-day lives of the people you work with. Be careful with just spitballing, ballparking. It is probably best to remember that spitballing can be construed as truth-telling, and there's not much you can do to change that. We can say things like, well, it's not my fault that that's what they heard. The RPMs of great leadership can guide us in how we should speak. The R, repetition, ensures that what we say has fidelity over time. Predictability, the P, ensures that what we say will remain consistent over time. And the M, meaning, built into our words will ensure that we have baked in the mission and the values that we hold dear to our decision-making over time. Listen, your words matter, and the matter of your words stick.